What is up, you guys? This is the Wire Rabbit, and welcome back to Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. Now, it was left, down the road, and then through here. Was it? The journal. Let's see. This is a lot of writing. Leave the courtyard. I must have lost it near the seedy boarding house, not far from here. Left when you leave the courtyard and left again into the lane. Perhaps you could go ask around. Okay. Excuse me.
Good day, sir. You wouldn't happen to have seen a leather folder on the ground around here, would you?
Good day, gentlemen. Finley, caretaker of this building. Here to serve. And yes, less than an hour ago. But some of the local urchins picked it up and God only knows where it might be now.
That's unfortunate. This police bag contained documents that the local police will miss.
You're inspectors.
Aye.
Not at all. I am Dr. Watson, and this is Sherlock Holmes, the detective.
Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes, the great detective. You must be here about last night's murder.
Aye.
Have you discovered the identity of the poor woman?
No.
Indeed, I'd only to read the papers.
Mine is dated from this morning, and it does not say who it is.
The police case.
I'm not really engaged in this case, but if I can help the police, I will do so willingly.
Aye.
Oh, to be sure. I've been told that Inspector Aberline is in charge. A very capable man.
Who? The leather folder.
So, according to you, I have no chance of finding this folder then.
Indeed. But I, on the other hand, should be able to find it. Do me a favour in exchange. A vagrant comes almost every night to sleep in one of the nooks not far from my windows. He coughs, howls, sometimes even sings. He's quite hefty and I don't dare approach him. I've lost 3 tenants because of him. If it's you who speaks to the police, they will take this matter more seriously. Tell them about the captain. They'll know who you're talking about. In the meantime, I'll find your police bag.
Alright. As Constable John Neal was proceeding down Bucks Row, Whitechapel, at approximately 3:45 a.m. on Friday morning, he discovered a woman... Okay.
Let's go to the police station.
Aye. Come on, Watson. As I have absolutely no idea how to run in this game. Oh, policeman! There appears to be a ruffian afoot. How bizarre. Police station? Police station! Detective.
So, gentlemen, have you found my police bag?
No. Captain.
Not quite yet. Do you know a vagrant who goes by the name of the Captain?
Captain? Yes, an old sailor, strong as a Turk and tattooed from head to toe.
Tattooed.
The drink has turned him into a derelict.
He appears to be causing some problems for the caretaker of the building at the end of the street.
Aye.
What do you want us to do? Every night, stairwells, halls and porches become public dormitories, and people don't only come to sleep. I believe this man has a niece who puts him up sometimes. Her lodgings are in Commercial Street, right after the alley with the boarding house. You won't forget my folder, will you?
No, of course not. So now we have to go talk to the niece.
Do you believe this woman will agree to have her uncle stay with her?
Probably not.
No idea. Oh well, let's go see her just the same.
Alright, so the street just past the boarding house. Right? Her lodging is right after the alley with the boarding house. Okay. Hi.
What do you think, Holmes?
Excuse me, my good man.
Out of the way, I don't like the look of you.
How dare you? Madam.
Pardon me, but can you give me some information?
If you're looking for a princess lover, you found her.
Right.
There. This is where the niece of the captain must live.
Ah. Of course. How silly of me. Madam!
Good day, miss. Would you happen to be the niece of the man known as the captain?
Oh, yes, that would be me. What has he done this time? He isn't... Oh my god, I'm on my way.
Madam. Not necessary. Your uncle is a bit of a
To
nuisance.
ask if you could have your uncle come live with you. He sleeps under the windows of a boarding house, causes the caretaker no end of problems.
I know. I've lodged him for a while, and he was the same here. My landlord made me kick him out. I'm ashamed, you know. I never should have, given the state of his health. He coughs day and night.
There might be a way to calm his cough. I am a doctor. I could examine him.
I
Aye.
went to see a doctor at the clinic, but the medicine costs too much. I can hardly pay my rent.
We will see to it. Where might your uncle be found?
I
Aye.
don't know. He must be in the vicinity, but I don't know exactly where.
Goodbye, madam.
We will find him.
Holmes, this
What?
is serious. Find an alcoholic in Whitechapel. A needle in a haystack would be easier.
Come, dear doctor,
Yeah.
let's trust to our lucky star. Moreover, we also have our informers, remember?
Yes.
Are you referring to those brats to whom you are always giving charity?
Exactly. My secret police. Some of them must surely roam in this area. It suffices to find them.
Speaking of said ruffians. Oh. Hello, chap. How doth ye do?
Hello, young man. How are you?
I
Aye.
recognize him. It's the lad who sells newspapers, who is always calling outside our windows at Baker Street, early in the morning.
Hello, Mr. Holmes. It's a treat to see you again. What can
Is
I
it?
do?
The captain.
Would you happen to know an old sailor who goes by the name of the captain? A poor man who hits the bottle a bit hard.
Of course, Mr. Holmes. He's there at the end of the street. Round to the left he is. But be careful. He can be a tough customer, that one.
Very good, my young man. The doctor will give you
Which-
a little something.
Which direction?
I say, Holmes.
Is he always such a skinflint with you, Mr. Holmes? Well, thanks to you, Mr. Holmes. Anytime you need me.
Which end of the street? The end of this street? I'm gonna presume.
I can hear someone coughing more than is natural, Holmes.
Yes, Watson. The poor man cannot be too far away.
I'm gonna guess it's this man. Excuse me, sir.
If, in order to listen to us, this man imposes as condition that we find his pet cockroach, there will be another murder in Whitechapel today, Watson. Yours.
Ah. He is in a critical state, Holmes. He has barely a month left.
Is there a way, dear doctor, to ensure that this last month passes in silence?
Really, Holmes, sometimes you... Oh, really?
Yeah.
I will make note of some medicine to get immediately that will relieve his pain.
Very well. I will locate an apothecary or a clinic.
And where would I do such a thing? Batty Street. Wasp Nest. It's a bar. Burner Street. Working Men's Club. But I don't know. Okay. Now he's playing a violin. How fortuitous. Righto. Why does everyone have a bottle? Excuse me.
Excuse me, my good man.
Nasty weather, eh?
Aye. Do you know where an apothecary is? I don't. Alright, do we have any idea where an apothecary might be? Not a clue! Excuse me, good man.
I have nothing to ask.
I do! Where the bloomy heck is an apothecary? Because I'm not seeing one.
I have no reason to go that way.
Okay, so it's on this side then. Goody! He told me this building's a clinic. Does that mean they have medicine? Hello? Ah, doctor. Good day, sir.
Good day, sir.
Ah!
Dr. Gibbons. You aren't from around these parts.
No.
Indeed, Doctor. It is for someone from your neighborhood that I am here, though. His doctor asked that I acquire some medicine on his behalf. I have the note here.
Dr. Watson? Not from round here neither. This medication is quite dear. Certain documents are necessary to obtain them for free.
Spare change.
I don't have it. You'll have to accept my spare change. Will it be enough?
Enough to relieve your patient for a month. Would you like me to make this prescription available after that time?
According to Dr. Watson, that won't be necessary.
The possibility of a recovery?
A definitive one, yes.
There, sir.
Thank you.
Where's everyone gone?
It's rather quiet here.
An unusual chain of events. The majority of the people hereabouts went out last night to see the great fire at the warehouse. The patients that I was minding and my staff were no exception. The former were dramatically healed, and the latter ended up sick. And with the murder last night, most of the people who weren't working wandered over to the scene of the crime. Their little aches and pains will wait until tonight or tomorrow.
A squalid murder, it would seem.
Just like what this area has become.
Goodbye.
My thanks, Doctor.
Not at all.
Righto. Let's go see if the captain is healed. Oh god, I have to find my way back. I don't even know how I got here in the first place. Ah, there's my dear old Watson. Watson! Watson, my dear fellow. Hello.
Find the medicine, Holmes. We must make haste.
I did.
Find the medicine, Holmes. We must make haste.
How do I... There.
Is the medication,
Charitable
Watson.
soul.
Is our man movable?
He should be able to stand in a few minutes and will no longer be suffering from his cough before long.
Consider the affair resolved. Accompany him to his niece's while I return to the boarding house.
Yes.
And then join me at the police station.
Quite right.
Let's return to the boarding house.
Can you not walk and talk at the same time, Mr. Holmes? Or do you have to do it all mentally? I don't know why. I've been obsessed with Sherlock Holmes recently. Like, I even watched the movie Holmes and Watson with Will Ferrell. And the actor Mr. Riley. I think that's his last name, Riley. Hello.
I have good news for you, Mr. Finley. We have sent the captain to stay with a relative, and he shouldn't bother you for a while.
I also have some good news. I have your police bag.
Oh.
Thank you. I bid you good day.
Oh, it was nothing. Tell me, one of my wife's friends lost...
Another day, Finley. Another day. Let's go to the police station.
Righto. Another day for mindless nonsense, Mr. Finley. Madam. To the police station. Where do these people go? They just seem to disappear. Maybe they go to jail. Who knows? Good sir.
So, what news do you have, Mr. Holmes?
Use.
Are you sure it's the police bag
There you go.
that you lost?
Yes, but someone attempted to force it open. They didn't succeed, but now the lock is stuck. Perhaps you could...
Let's see.
Aye.
So...
Nope,
what news
nope,
do you
no,
have,
not
Mr.
you.
Holmes?
Alright. What am I doing? Hang on. Is it supposed to be... Three, 4, 5... I see the issue.
All
Oh.
done.
I did it by accident.
A big thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Think nothing of it, my friend. So, the reports.
Why don't you wait till the inspectors get back? You would certainly learn more.
If I wanted to meet the inspectors, I would have done so.
Yes.
So, give me the preliminary reports, and above all, do not mention my visit to anyone. Is that clear?
Sure, if that's what you want. Here are the reports.
Thank you.
Her throat was slit from left to right. 2 distinct incisions are present on the left side. The windpipe, gullet, and spinal cord being cut through. A bruise being on the right lower jaw. Also 1 on the left cheek. The abdominal has been cut open. Gruesome. Gruesome and gruesome. I say, dear Watson, we have a murder.
Have you obtained the preliminary report?
Of course.
Yes, we'll read them on the go. Let's to the scene of the crime at Bucks Row, Watson.
I think I know where that is. I just found out I can teleport. Hello. That makes this a whole lot easier.
But what are all these people doing here, Holmes?
Apparently, they came to see the scene of the crime.
Yeah.
What about us? Aren't we going to see it?
We will return this evening, Watson. The circumstances should be ideal for carrying out our little experiments.
Later. What do you mean experiments?
Well, Watson, we are at the scene of the Polly Nichols murder. Imagine the victim lying at the spot where she was found and try to discern all of the clues we can. Watson, you are a writer. I am therefore entrusting you with our deduction board. It will help us to establish certain facts.
Understood, Holmes.
No marks on the ground.
No footprints on the ground.
The ground is muddy. Let's look at this poor woman more closely.
Right.
There is a bruise at the level of the right maxilla. The throat was slit from left to right. There are 2 incisions. The throat was slit from left to right.
Yes,
there are 2
yes.
incisions. A small pool of blood, 6 inches in diameter.
What else is important?
The tongue is swollen.
I don't understand why that
There's a
would be
bruise
important.
on the left cheek.
Okay, I don't know what's important and what is not.
A A small pool of blood, 6 inches in diameter.
Is that
The
all?
throat was slit from left to
Yes,
right.
yes, yes. Okay.
There is a black bonnet near the left hand. The body was lying on its back, legs straight and slightly apart. The skirt had been lifted up to the middle of the body. The left hand was touching the barn door. The body was still warm. Let's reread the preliminary report for the details on the wounds inflicted upon this poor woman.
I don't want to.
No signs of blood.
Okay.
What shall we do, Holmes?
You know, that's a good question there, Watson.
There is only one streetlight lit on this street, Watson, and this spot is particularly poorly lit.
Aye.
This spot is deserted, Holmes. The prostitutes only come here to exercise.
Well, Watson, we have found all of the possible clues, I think. We will now attempt to recreate the scene of the murder.
Why?
Come closer, Watson. I have to make you up.
You are joking, Holmes?
Of course not.
I feel ridiculous, Holmes.
Now, Watson, come and stand here in front of me. You shall play the role of the poor woman, and I shall play that of the murderer. Let's try to reconstruct the facts to ensure the final result corresponds indisputably to the way that Polly Nichols was killed.
Okay. Change. Left hand. All right. Play.
This position is unlikely.
What?
Yes, it's quite possible the events occurred like this.
Okay. Okay, stop. Then the ground was slit left to right, so it would have been that.
The murderer had enough room to inflict the wounds to the neck, and these wounds suggest the left hand was used.
Was that it? Don't use
My
a real
dear
knife
Watson,
there.
now that we have found all of our clues, nothing remains but to subject them to our most likely hypotheses in order to deduce the facts.
The facts. Deduction. Okay. I'm confused. Oh, it fills them in for me. The victim... This one. Which one? Her tongue was bloated. Poisoned? No, suffocated. Why is it red? I don't know. Victim... standing in front of the victim to strangle her. The left hand strangled the victim with the right hand. He's a relatively strong man. Let's see. The murderer cut open the throat. No footsteps on the ground. The corpse was still warm. Wasn't dragged. There we go. I'm assuming the was strangled. There we go. Is that all? Oh. There's more. No, let me. Excuse me. There we go. Okay. Dirty and damp ground. Oh, God. A little pool of blood. The blood did not flow in strong spurts. Let's see. The victim had her throat slit. No traces of blood on the walls. The victim didn't have her throat slit while standing. This one. No? There. A black bonnet near the left hand. Poorly lit street. This one. The victim wasn't afraid. There we go. I think. No, it has to be green, doesn't it? I think. Help. Once all the facts are in the right... Oh. I don't know. Holmes. The victim wasn't cold, wasn't afraid. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Oh. That took a while.
Most probably dead before being laid down. Once the heart stopped, gravity drained the body slowly, not in a heavy spurt that would have stained half the street.
Thank you, Holmes. I understand why you told me not to change clothes. Do you realize that our behavior didn't alarm anyone?
The victim's ordeal was even more discreet. By acting in silence, we have confirmed something. The crime definitely took place here.
Indeed.
The victim and her murderer were able to come here without making any noise, and afterwards the murder took place without the slightest cry being uttered. Come, Watson, let's go home. We have spent far too long in this sinister alley.
I agree. Also, I apologize, Watson. I did not mean to dress you up as so.
And so, my dear Watson, the day and night which we passed in Whitechapel were enlightening, weren't they?
An adventure that I most certainly will never relate. To be in the skin of that poor woman. I prefer not to speak of it further.
I agree.
But have we really learned anything about the murderer?
No.
Obviously a man, given the necessary strength.
We have little to go on, at least no more than the police. But in my opinion, Inspector Aberline has a trick or two up his sleeve. No, I want to talk about the facts and what we can draw from them. We know where the crime was committed and under what conditions. I would like to ask you about the possible motives for the crime. According to you, Watson, what could have pushed the murderer to act in such a way?
Drink? The victim lived in misery. Resentment can lead to irritable acts.
Revenge, Holmes?
Revenge could be a possible motive, but with one small reservation. We have reason to believe that the victim considered her murderer to be a typical client.
No revenge. The victim suffered horrible mutilation.
Homicidal insanity, Holmes.
It is indubitable that the man who did this to Polly Nichols is not of his full senses.
Credible motive, even if it's a field that Sherlock doesn't know. I would imagine this.
Black magic?
I'm not terribly interested in the occult or black magic. Let's give the benefit of the doubt to this motive.
The victim was...
A personal drama.
Love can certainly lead to many a drama, but we have to consider the fact that the victim didn't know her attacker.
Fair.
Theft, perhaps.
I have a hard time believing that someone would attack poor Polly so fiercely just to rob her of a few coins.
Then that only leaves this.
Well, we are still missing certain information in order to finish this investigation, Watson.
Indubitably.
Elementary.
Elementary?
Very well, Watson. I think that we've exhausted the topic. Take a rest and we'll speak again later.
Elementary?
Ah, it would seem that the investigation is advancing, Holmes. Yesterday's Star said that a suspect is in the hands of the police, a man with a rather sinister reputation.
I was about to join you in your optimistic outlook until you informed me that the good news came from the press, Watson.
But surely they wouldn't invent the fact that the police are holding a suspect, or the acts that are attributed to him.
You will have an exact answer to these two questions in less than 50 seconds, Watson.
Pardon?
Enter, Inspector.
Good day.
Good day.
Dear Watson, allow me to introduce Inspector Aberline, Inspector Dr. Watson.
Inspector?
To what do we owe the honor of your presence, Inspector?
I heard that the two of you made your way to Whitechapel a few days ago. Your arrival, you are aware, coincides with a very serious affair which our police service is going to great lengths to solve and which is creating strong tensions in the area.
Oh.
Pardon me, but haven't you arrested someone? A certain Leather Apron?
Absolutely not. The man who hides behind this name is indeed being actively searched for by the force. Besides, nothing at the moment suggests that he is the Bucks Row murderer.
There, you've been enlightened, Watson. Now it is our turn to answer Inspector Aberline's questions.
Indeed. I will be brief and precise. Do you intend to investigate this case, or have you already started?
It is to be of service to a friend that I went to Whitechapel. We did, out of curiosity, familiarize ourselves with the preliminary reports, and we made our way to the scene of the crime. Our conclusions are slim, as are the clues.
Aye.
Having not been officially appointed by a client, I believe that my intervention in this business will end there.
Very well. To be frank, you take the weight off my shoulders by distancing yourself from the case. Our image isn't very good, to say nothing of what the press puts us through. Thus, if overnight they found out that you were on the case, people would turn against us.
And they would pester me, overwhelm me, and finally make me out to be responsible for the inevitable failure such a scenario entails. Neither you nor I wish for this to happen. I know that your time is precious, Inspector. I will send you a note regarding my conclusions shortly.
With pleasure. Gentlemen?
Aye.
Do you think that he will find the murderer?
No.
The chances are slim to non-existent. It is 7 days now, short of a confession from the murderer himself.
And you will not go further?
You heard the Inspector, Watson. My presence in Whitechapel would hinder, which doesn't mean that we will drop the case.
How is that?
Yeah.
The Inspector spoke of me, but not of Us. It is you, Watson, who will lead the investigation tonight. It is you who will bring to the police station the little note that I will write regarding our conclusions. Despite the late hour, there is nothing to stop you from making inquiries about this famous leather apron while you are there.
That's true, I suppose. Okey dokey. What I think is actually going to happen is I'm going to leave this one here. So thank you guys so much for watching this one. If you liked it, you know what to do. Keep things crazy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.